I think it's safe to say that gas prices are continuing to climb and could get rather ugly here in the coming weeks, as if they're not already. Everybody is talking about the price at the pump. We got to bring this guy on. We've been trying to connect for a while. He's out in Texas, and his name is Jay Young, and he is an amazing guy, fourth-generation oil and gas professional and the author of The Upside of Oil and Gas Investing. We urge you to check out his website, kingoperating.com. Absolute pleasure to have you with us. What the hell is going on?
What we're doing right now is we're experiencing, obviously the Russia-Ukraine story and what's going on there, and Putin and him being able to keep a lot of oil and gas out of Europe and disrupt the 100 million barrels a day in the world's demand for oil. But I've been talking about this for a long time, and it's not about Russia, Ukraine. It's about oil is going to go up. And the reason why is because the government, number one, is still regulating oil and gas and permits and pipelines. They need to step down. They need to allow us to drill for oil and gas. Number two, institutions right now. Institutions are not putting money into oil and gas. Rig counts down. The reason why, because institutions aren't coming back. Number three is public companies are simply not going back to drill. Exxon makes $6 billion last quarter. They spend $10 billion buying back their stock instead of putting that money to work in the oil field because of people on their board that are going green, and they're saying green, which, hey, I coined the term greener. We're never going to go green. We're always going to need oil. We need oil right now in the United States, but that's the reason why you're seeing $100 oil today, and you're going to see in the summertime when demand hits its peak and people want to drive on their vacations, that's when you're going to see higher oil prices because we simply don't have the oil in the United States. Putin's not going to be able to supply us with enough to really, make a difference here. But what's happening is we're not drilling for it. And if we're not drilling for it in the United States and we don't have it and we need it, obviously prices are going to go up. Hey, we need 20 million barrels a day in the United States, 20 million, and we're only producing 12. We need 8 million from other countries. So strategic reserve or not, that makes us feel good temporarily, but that's not fixing the problem.
Russia puts out, 10 mil a day?
10, 11 million a day, right. And they only consume 5.
And that's 10% of the global demand here. So what you're saying, Jay, is that's not really the biggest culprit here.
The biggest culprit in the United States is we're not drilling for oil in the United States. Under Trump, we were drill, baby, drill. And remember that, drill, baby, drill? Yeah. And what happened to oil prices? It went down. You're paying less at the pump. Exactly what's going on. But what's happening now is the direct opposite because, Biden came in and cut off Keystone pipelines, and people started talking about green energy and ESG, which, hey, I'm all for 100%. I'm not saying I'm not for it. I'm just saying that we got a little bit over our skis, and we put our foot in our mouth saying all this before the demand was there. We have a demand for oil no matter what anybody says, and that's just the way it is. Until you find alternatives to cut down on oil, you're going to need it. And when you don't have it, you're going to pay more for it. And that's what happened. And we're getting better, I believe. We're going to start drilling for oil in the United States. Rig count's up, but it's not anywhere close to where it was before the pandemic. We were at over 1,000 rigs drilling for oil and gas in the United States before the pandemic. And we're at 550, 560 right now. We're still not there. And we're not going to be there in what we need to bring those gasoline prices down at the pump.
So we should ease some of the restrictions on the oil and gas industry. We should unleash more oil reserves here in America. What about?
It'd be great if OPEC would give us a little bit of cheap oil. It'd be great if they would give us cheap oil, but that's not in their cards. Russia, Saudi Arabia killed our markets right before the pandemic. They put tens of millions of barrels on the market at deep discounts right before the pandemic. Russia, Saudi Arabia did
Iran.
that. Iran. What they wanted to do was they wanted to oversupply our market and put a lot of us oil and gas guys like me out of business because they wanted to drive that price down, put us out of business, so we would be more dependent on them. So, I mean, this isn't like okay, well, we'll sell. We like selling more oil at cheaper prices. That's not in Putin's, repertoire. He likes to sell less oil at higher prices.
Mm-hmm. So, national average, what do you have for us, Jay, right now?
It could very well hit $5 by the summertime. I don't see us going to astronomical numbers. I've heard $150, $200 a barrel, things of that nature. I don't think that's in the cards. Myself personally, I mean, if we don't do something, that could happen for sure. But what I see is $100, $120 oil, and then prices start coming down, and then but I believe we're going to be paying more at the pump.
You think numbers are going to be changing quickly now?
The Russia-Ukraine story is just a little bit of a story, and it could drive prices up another $10 by itself, which is terrible, obviously. But the big news here is we need to be drilling for oil in the United States, and we're not doing that. And if we're not doing it, and we need it, obviously, supply and demand, economics 101, prices go up. That's the big story.
I mean,
don't buy that house way out 10, 15, 30 miles outside the city and expect to enjoy that acre lot, because you're going to be paying more if you're driving back and forth to work every day.
Yeah. Good time to get a motorcycle, Jay.
Yeah.
And you've been on so many different networks. What have you been doing over the last couple of weeks? You've been like on every major network, right?
Yeah, I've been on CNBC and Fox and CBS and just a lot of different, because people want to know, hey, what's going on, and they all steer toward this Russia-Ukraine story, and I'm like, okay, that's great, yes, it is, and my heart's out to the people that have lost their lives, and there's basketball players over there that can't come home, and terrible news. Yeah. But I'm just telling everybody, hey, if you look at the numbers, fundamentally, from a technical standpoint, we don't have the oil in the United States, and we're not going to have it unless something crazy happens. I mean, there's 5-10% chance that something crazy happens and we start buying cheap oil from somewhere somehow, which I don't really see that. And it's going to drive prices up because we're just simply not drilling for it.
A lot of fear factor here with some of the rumors that are flying around in the media that we could easily be at $7 or $8, or even I think I read one report that we could be $10 a gallon.
Oh my goodness!
Any accuracy to any of that?
Yeah, I mean there is. If things don't happen where let's say Russia and everybody tightens up. I mean, okay, once again, so we need 20 million barrels. We need more than that, but let's just say 20. And we're only producing 12. We need 8 million barrels from other countries. And we're not drilling for oil in the United States. And
per day? Is that per day?
Yeah, 20 million barrels of oil per day or so. And we only produce 12. So we need 8 million from other countries. And these countries like Russia, I mean, they produce 10, 11 million, like you said, and they only consume 5. Well, they're putting 5 to 6 million barrels on the market a day. And this is how they balance their budgets, and that's how they make money, is by selling 5 million barrels a day on the open markets, which if you did the math is about $12 billion a month, which is a pretty good budget item. And I wish we had that problem in our company. 12, they're making $12 billion a month, but Putin needs a lot. He's got that big boat outside Ukraine. I mean, it's ridiculous. But if what happens is we need 20 million and we're only producing 12, let's say our demand goes to 21, 22, and let's say our supply goes to 11 or 10. Whoa, wait a minute. We can't just all of a sudden open up all these different reserves in the United States and go, okay, well, hey, we were just kidding with these 12 million barrels. We really have 15 or 16 million barrels that we can produce in the United States. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
I was on Jim Bohannon the other night, and this lady called in from Iowa, I believe, and she said, why don't you old guys just get together in a little room and just go, hey, let's just start drilling? And I said, man, that'd be awesome, because my family's been in this business since 1915. I think it's an incredible time to invest in oil and gas. incredible time to invest in oil and gas. But
And
it
you
doesn't happen that way.
and
You
you're
know, we need hundreds of billions of dollars, and we don't have it. Nobody has all the money that they need right now to put it to work. Either federal regulations, like I said, number one, federal regulations. Number one, number two is people are going green. Public companies boards are saying don't drill, and then the institutions obviously aren't loosening up on their money. So we just don't have it to drill. So the more we are independent, or I'm sorry, the more we're dependent on Russia. And what do you think what do you think Putin's going to do if we're more dependent on him? Lower his prices?
yeah, right.
Absolutely not. That's why oil prices are going to go up. That's why the time to invest in oil and gas is right now.
Jay Young is a fourth generation oil and gas pro. He is the author of The Upside of Oil and Gas Investing. Where do we get your book, man? Obviously on the internet, right?
Absolutely. Go to the internet, kingoperating.com, jryoung.com, and fill out an assessment if you're interested in looking at oil and gas and think that it may be right for you. We have an assessment on our website. Fill it out. JD, if you'll fill one out and say, hey, Jay, send me a book, I'll send you an autographed copy of my book. It's incredible. It just talks about cycles in oil and gas, which is what we're in right now. And like I said, right now is a great time to look at it in your portfolio. You're going to be paying $4 or $5 a gallon, $6. You're going to have to make some money somewhere to pay for it.
Hey, Jay, thanks for all your time, buddy. We really appreciate it. We might be calling you again soon.
Good. Please do. Thank you.
Thank you, my man.
All the best.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Yeah. We've been trying to get Jay on for a little while here. So nice to finally connect with him in Texas, where he is a very busy man, fielding a lot of major networks, getting on TV an awful lot, and chatting. Been reading some of these quotes from Patrick DeHaan, the head of petroleum analysis for Gas Buddy. Just amazing to stay up with this. GasBuddy.com. I've been on it, as I'm sure you have as well. Just a quick connect with Jay Young this afternoon. We appreciate your eyes and your ears. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember to post your comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say. If you like the podcast, make sure to tell your friends, follow the page, click a like, drop a comment. Yeah, and obviously do share. All right. Be well. Take good care. God bless. And thanks again to Jay Young, live with us from Texas, this time around on Aired Out.